Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to show you how you can improve the freebie t-shirt designs from creativefabrica.com, and it is very important for those who are not designers and still want to get into the online business, especially for print on demand. And this is the proper way to use these freebies that will not give you any kind of copyright issues. So if you are interested in that, let's get started. Here I am on Creativefabrica freebies section, and you can see there are very beautiful or good looking t-shirt designs, and these all are available for free, so you don't have to pay anything for them, and you can use these designs for your print on demand business. The only thing is that you need to modify these freebies so that you do not get any kind of copyright issues, and it is explained in their license terms, and I already made a video on this topic in detail, explaining different license versions or different types of licenses on this website. Now these are the t-shirt designs that you can see here are kind of like complete t-shirt designs. You just need to modify some things here, and you are good to go. But there are also some t-shirt designs like these which are just simple plain quotes, and you will need to modify these as well. And remember, each and every freebie here is just to give you a starting point. You need to modify these freebies, change the colors, add different elements, and then use it. And this video is all about that, how to use these freebies and what is the proper way to use these freebies. So you can get these kind of quotes as well, and sometimes you get these kind of bundle designs as well. So if I open up this in a new tab, so this is pretty beautiful and complex designs, not some kind of just other kind of design that you may find on some kind of public domain websites. These are pretty good and high quality design, but in order to use these for yourself in your print on demand business, actually not for yourself but for commercial purpose, you need to modify these. I have selected this design for this tutorial because I like the concept of this one. The leftovers are for quitters. It is a Thanksgiving themed t-shirt design, and it has this pumpkin pie and some kind of fall leaves, and I'm going to show you how you can modify this one for your print on demand business. Now before you download the freebies or the t-shirt design under standard license, or you can say this basic POD license, what you need to know that you should be able to modify these. They should not be just PNG graphics, as it is already mentioned here on the thumbnail or the preview image that it has AI, EPS, SVG files, and in the description they also mentioned that it has AI, EPS and SVG files. Now I'm going to use the SVG file or the EPS file, and I'm going to use Affinity designer to add this design. So I'm just going to simply download it and open up that SVG file inside Affinity designer. So guys, this is the SVG file of that design, and all the elements are separate, as you can see here, in different groups, and by default it is in the layer. So first thing that I need to do is I'm just going to select each and every group inside that layer and bring them outside the layer, and it is going to help us just move these around, and just makes it easier to work with. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is just to copy this thing into a new document, because I do not want to mess this original file, and the new document should be the size depending upon what is your requirement. So I'm just going to use 15 by 18 inches. That is the Merch by Amazon t-shirt design size. So I'm just going to press create. Then I'm going to select all of these, from top to pressing the shift key, and then selecting the bottom, pressing Ctrl C to copy, and then pressing Ctrl V to paste in the new document. Now I do not need the original document, so I'm just going to close it and just save none. And then I'm going to modify this one. First I need to scale this up a little bit, so I'm going to press shift and make sure that it covers the maximum area for the t-shirt design, and I think that is much better. And next thing that I'm going to do is to modify it to be used on a black t-shirt. So I'm just going to simply create a rectangle shape, that is covering the whole document, bring it behind everything and simply change its color to black and then lock it. Next thing that I'm going to do is to just separate out these elements so that I can work with these individually. And the most important thing that in this kind of editing process is that you need to change the fonts. That's very important. You can use these graphics as it, but it's very important to change the fonts so that you can have some kind of variation of the design, and so that it comes under the basic lessons and you do not find any kind of issue or trouble in the future. So the top part I'm just going to just going to remove that, or just going to hide that for the moment. And the next thing that I'm going to do is just hide these elements as well, because this whole thing seems like a copied of original group. So this original group is already there. It has this kind of like grayish text and that basic t-shirt this graphic element. So I'm just going to remove all the top elements by pressing delete key, and then I'm going to go inside this group and bring everything out of that group, or you can simply ungroup these. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this top text, that is this leftover, and I'm going to change its font. Now it is already in these curve shapes or the vector shapes, which means that I cannot edit these ones as a font and I have to retype the whole text. So I'm just going to hide this for a moment, and I'm going to simply create a circle, kind of like an oval shape, and let's say just remove any kind of fill color, and for stroke I want some kind of lighter color so that I can see what is the shape here and how it looks on the design. I think that looks fine. I need to align it horizontally, and then I'm going to use this text tool, artistic text tool, and as soon as it comes close to it, it changes its shape. So let me just hide the background. So as soon as it is over this line, you can see that it changes the cursor shape. So I'm just going to click here and then type that text again. Let's just place it at this proper location. Okay, now this looks much better, and now we need to change its font. So I'm going to select a suitable font for this kind of design. I'm going to select all of the text and then select the font. So I have selected this kind of like a jolly style font, happy looking font, and that is kind of like matching the theme of the holiday or this occasion, a happy occasion. So that's the font, and then I'm going to change the other fonts as well. So this one R4 and then quitters. Now the problem that I see here is this R4 is not that an important word or a phrase, while quitters is kind of like an important phrase for this t-shirt design. So we need to make this word R4 smaller and quitters to be much bigger. So I'm just going to hide these ones, and let's type the word R4. I'm going to scale it up, and let's say just place it here. Maybe make this one a little bit smaller because this is not an emphasis word. So then I'm going to change its font again to something that is smaller, not too big. I think this one would look fine, kind of like a brush style font. Alright, and then I'm going to put those word quitters. So I have put this word quitters. I'm going to make it a little bigger because this is going to be an emphasis word, and I'm going to change its font to something that I would like. So this looks interesting. Let's just scale it up a bit, and this looks much better, and let's just increase its size a little bit as well, and maybe place it above or center it, just center it horizontally and center this one horizontally as well. Alright, now we need to increase this font size as well. So this is left over, so we need to add S here, and then just arrange it a little bit like that. Alright, now this is looking much better. Now we need to add a few more elements to this text design. So the simplest thing that we can do is just add some kind of like a bars here, and let's say just fill it with the white color at this moment. We can change it later on depending upon our likeness. Let's just copy this one again here, and let's just maybe add a few more elements here and there, maybe some circles. Press Ctrl J to move it horizontally a little bit, press Ctrl J a couple of times to create a few copies. Select all of these and then just maybe slightly place it here. So this is just adding some different elements so that we make this design kind of like different from the original. Let's just select all of these, group them together, press Ctrl J to copy them and move it on the other side at this location. I'm going to select both of these, then group them together and then center them horizontally, and then we can modify our shape, or you can say this text as well. Just increase this size a little bit to be approximately around the same just size of this area. Alright, next thing that we can do here is work on this graphic. Now I know that this is looking like a pumpkin pie, and we need to modify this color. I'm kind of liking this outline here, but I think I would like it more if it has some kind of filled color. So we can do some kind of images search on Google and try to find out what kind of these pumpkin pie illustrations are there, and what are the color choices that would be good for this kind of illustration. So here on Google Images I have searched for pumpkin pie illustration, and I'm looking for just the color choices, and currently there are kind of like pale color and orangish color, and this one has interesting, the bottom area is kind of red, and this is pale, and then orangish kind of shades, different shades. And let's just move down a little bit. This one again has kind of brownish, pale and orangish color. So these are just the color choices just for us to help us with the coloring our t-shirt design. So I'm going to use this one as a reference, and try to make the colors kind of like the similar in this way. So I'm just going to select this one, lock it for the moment, and almost delete everything that we have hidden. This just the original text designs and the other elements that were there. And then I'm going to select all the text that I have put here and lock them as well. Alright, let's just start by filling this top area. So I'm going to use the pen tool and try to make kind of like a shape that is going to be behind this shape. So I'm going to select different points and different locations that are going to be in this top area of the pie, and then I'm just going to close it. And it is kind of like an orangish design in the original one. This is our reference image, so I'm going to select that color. So kind of like orangish thing, I think that would look fine. And let's just bring it behind it. We can change these outline color later on, but let's just first focus on this basic color. Then I'm going to color this area, this one here, and let's just maybe make this one kind of like a pale style color. I'm just going to select the pen tool and start drawing a shape that is going to be in this location. Then I'm going to just color it kind of like a pale yellow type of thing. I think that would look fine. Let's just bring this one behind it as well, and then I'm going to color this one kind of like a decorative kind of like a bowl thing or something like that. Let's just fill it with the red color as it was in our reference. We can modify these according to our likeness at the later stages, but let's just stick to that for now. And these top areas I kind of want it to be brownish, so I'm going to kind of like create these shapes that is going to cover this area like that, and this one as well. And I'm going to select all of these three shapes. In the fill, I'm going to just choose this color that I have selected for the base shape, and then I'm going to go and just decrease the lightness to make it kind of like brownish, somewhat like that. Alright, this looks fine, and before I go and do further changes and make some color changes to the leaves and other thing, I would like to make a change to these shapes, just this basic outline thing. So I'm going to select this group, that all of that, this outline group, and then I'm going to change its color to something like that, and then I'm going to adjust it according to my likeness. So this is kind of looking like okay, but I would like it to be kind of like according to the theme of Thanksgiving, but still have some kind of, you can say, the lightness to it. I think this white color would look much better, and it would look much better on the t-shirt design. We can use some kind of yellowish and other versions as well, and let's see how that looks. We do not want to use any dark color, because that would be just to kind of like a similar with that black color, so we do not want it. So I think this white color would look much better, and if we had not used that pale color for this one, we could have used this yellowish type of thing, but I think the white looks much better than that. Let's just lock it again, and the next thing that I'm going to do is to color these leaves as well. So I'm just going to randomly color all the leaves differently according to kind of like the leaves of in the fall season or the autumn season. Let's just make it kind of orangish yellow, this kind of thing. Bring it below it, or you can say behind it, and then I'm going to, I think this is the copy of this one, so I'm just going to press Ctrl J to copy it and move it here, rotate it a bit, place it in this location. As you can see that this was just an exact copy of the other leaf, so we can just adjust a few, something like that, and change its color to maybe this kind of orange thing like that, and maybe create a copy of this one again, move it here, rotate it a bit too, so that it is behind these outlines, adjust it accordingly, and let's just change this color to be slightly, let's say, kind of greenish. I think that would look fine, olive green style thing. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is select all of these three leaves, press Ctrl J to copy them, flip them horizontally, and then move it on the other side. And for these, what we can do is just change the color order. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to select this yellow for this one. Let me just make this one kind of like green. I do not want symmetry here, and that is why I'm just changing the color order. I think that looks fine. Let's just select all of the leaves and bring it behind the pie shapes like that. Next, what I can do here is I can add a few more details on these dotted areas as well. So I'm going to just maybe color it slightly differently. And next thing that I can do is add few more details here and there on the upper area of the pie by using the same color and same thing. So one thing I can do, I'm just going to select this shape and create a copy of this one, maybe scale it down a bit, select this one again, create copy, and maybe modify this shape a little bit into a different looking shape, and then scale it down a bit as well, select both of these. So come in kind of like create multiple copies, kind of like different detailed look to it. Alright, now this looks much better. Let's select all of these, group them together, and now it's time to change the colors of the text if we want to. Let's say that I want this top text to be kind of like yellow, according to the theme. So leftovers are, and let's just make this one kind of like orangish. We do not want it to be too dark, around just 50% lightness would be fine, or over 50%. And then next thing that we can do is to add colors to these decorative elements that we have added. So I'm just going to go into one of that, select these bar and let's just maybe make them the same color as the top text. Select the center one in the alternating order, and then maybe make this one to be the orange color of the text. Alright, the same thing that I am done here, I'm going to do with the others. Alright, this t-shirt design looks much better from the original. It has these bright colors and easily visible on the black shirt. So guys, that's how you can easily improve those freebie t-shirt design for your own print on demand business. Now it is looking fine to me and I might upload it as it. Another thing that you can do, if you do not want these kind of thick you can say these outlines in your design, what you can do here, if I select this one, I'm just going to create a copy of this one by pressing Ctrl J, and then I'm going to hide this original one, and I'm going to ungroup all of these things, and then at the top I'm going to press this option called add, and once I press that add option, it has now everything in the single curve. Next thing that I'm going to do is to go to the right click, geometry, and choose this option separate curves. Now this does is that it separates out each and every curve and makes that kind of like an individual shape. So I'm going to select this one because it was an empty space here, and then I'm going to select the bottom one, that is the basic shape, and then I'm going to do at the top and choose this option subtract, and this is going to help me create an kind of like an outline. So I'm going to select all the remaining shapes that were there, and I'm going to just delete those, and I'm going to bring this curve behind our colored shapes, bring back the original one, and I'm going to use this back area and change its fill to none and stroke to kind of like a white color, and then increase the thickness a lot according to my likeness. And at the top, this group of these outlines, what I'm going to do is just going to make it kind of like a black color, and this bottom one, and let's just maybe decrease it to have slightly outline here, you know, something like that. And this is another version that you can do with your t-shirt design, kind of have the original image according to your likeness, coloring it, and then creating a kind of like an outline to it, in as it was in our original t-shirt design. We had outline our the whole thing, so instead of the whole thing we just created an outline around this area and keep everything else. So this is another kind of t-shirt design improvement that you can do for your designs, and it does not take much time. So guys, hopefully you have found this video to be helpful and inspiring. If so, let me know in the comments below, or you can like the video. It will also help me with the YouTube algorithm, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any questions regarding this video or any of my previous video, just ask me in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer those questions. And thank you for watching.